Here's a song that embodies many of the truths about you. It's called Greater Power. One life beating all our hearts. One love living in everyone. If you breathe, just breathe. In the silence, what a sound. And you'll hear what's all around. 'Cause in me is light, so let it shine. In me is strength to make it mine. In me is peace to free my mind. In me is everything I need. In you is joy to heal the pain. In you is power to make a change. In you is truth to set you free. 'Cause in you is everything you need. A greater power's in you. A greater power's in you. One truth defined in you and me. A path to follow yourself to your source. If you breathe, just breathe. In the silence, what a sound. And you'll hear what's all around. 'Cause in me is light, so let it shine. In me is strength to make it mine. In me is peace to free my mind. In me is everything I need. In you is joy to heal the pain. In you is power to make a change. In you is truth to set you free. 'Cause in you is everything you need. A greater power's in you. A greater power's in you. A greater power's in you.
3, 2, 1.
Good morning. Welcome to Agape. And here we are again. It's Sunday, and it's good to be with you. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, or whether you need a reminder, agape is Greek for unconditional love. Martin Luther King said it, the love of God operating through the human heart. And what we teach at Agape is agape means to accept. Anything other than acceptance is judgment, and when we're judging, there is no love. So hey, don't judge me. Just sign in. Tell me who's out there. Check in. Let me know where you're writing from. Say hi to people out there. Throughout the course of this talk, if you like it and you're on Facebook, hit that heart button. Let those hearts go flying up and down. The more we get comments on social media, the more social media spreads this message. So do me a favor. Don't be shy. Check in. Let me know where you're writing from, or not writing from, where you're watching from. So it's interesting. This week, I'm really starting to understand, as I talk with more and more people from around the world, is that what people are seeking most is meaning of life, and they're seeking connection in life. I believe that's where we as humans today have the greatest void. And what we're doing at Agape is we're finding ways for you to discover your meaning. You discover your purpose in life. And then you define connection. And we're offering you many ways to find connection at Agape. That's our reason for being. Our reason for being is to question so that we can find meaning, and then to connect so we can feel that sense of oneness that is really the truth of all that we are. So throughout the course of this, if there are comments and questions, please write them down. Let me know what you're interested in. Let me know what's on your mind. And share with the community, because they're sharing this same journey with you. So let's take a moment now and let's find that place where we go within, where we still our minds and we center ourselves in this moment. So close your eyes. Come to a comfortable seated upright position. Your back is straight. Your hands gently resting on your lap. And let my voice guide you. Let my words be your words. Allow this magnificent energy that we call the divine take the form of a golden white light. And as this divine energy takes the form of a golden white light, visualize yourself surrounded by it, enveloped by it. It is not only moving around you, it is moving through you. And as it does so, your body just relaxes. From the top of your head to the tip of your toes, you feel your body relaxing deeper and deeper, and it feels so good. All stress just pours out of your feet into the floor, into Mother Earth. And as you sit there in this relaxed state, allow your mind to let go of any and all attachment to any and all thoughts. And allow yourself to just become immersed in an infinite intelligence, the quantum field where all thoughts exist at the same time. And there's no need for you to attach to any thought. You're just there because it's a natural place for you to be. And feel yourself not only relaxed, but in such a deep state of inner peace. Notice how you don't have any boundaries, that you cannot even tell where you begin and where you end. Because the truth is, you're starting to realize and experience your true nature, that you are a unique and whole individualization of pure love, of pure consciousness. And as such, the whole world of possibility is open to you to create and to experience whatever you desire. The meaning for your life is unique to you. And the meaning simply involves you experiencing your life to the very fullest. And there are no limitations. The only limitations are those that you put upon yourself with your thought. And we've cleared those. The past is no longer relevant to you. You can choose freely in this moment. So feel the freedom in your body. Feel the freedom in your mind, and realize that freedom is your natural state. And it's that which each of us values more than anything. The freedom to be unique, the freedom to create, the freedom to experience, the freedom to share, the freedom to live. Let that vibrational energy that we've just created immerse itself deep within your heart. not only in your heart, but in your third eye, your God eye. And see that third eye and God eye in your heart connect and meld as one. Knowing that you have just transformed your vibration and how you see the world, let yourself come back to this moment, to this time, and feel yourself re-enter into your body. And notice the thoughts starting to happen in your mind. And when you're ready, with a grateful heart, a joyful expectancy, open your eyes and welcome this perfect new day. So today, we're going to continue on our series on how to use the science of mind by Ernest Holmes. And today we're going to talk about a technique for practice. In other words, we're going to talk about a technique that each of us can use, that all of us can use, that's available to us. But let me remind you of where we start out. We start out knowing that there is a creative power that is everywhere present. It is always responding to the nature of our thoughts, and we can consciously choose to use this power. Here's the thing, we can consciously choose to unconsciously use this power too. But when we truly understand and we become aware, aware is the ultimate. When you become aware, you realize you're no longer a microcosm, that you're limited, but that you're free and you're expansive. When you become aware, you realize there is a creative power. When you become aware, you realize it's always with you. When you become aware, you realize you're always using it. And when you become aware, you realize you can begin to use it in any way you choose. And so you become a conscious creator instead of a creator that creates by default. You see, one of the things that we've identified is that everyone who becomes conscious and starts using the science of mind, we call a practitioner. And our job as a practitioner is to build an absolute conviction and faith that the process of spiritual mind treatment works. In other words, we use this idea of building a belief. A belief are our thoughts, words, actions, and feelings aligned toward a specific result, held persistently and consistently, either consciously or unconsciously. So our job is to have the conviction to know that that belief creates, that there is a power behind that belief. And what we're doing is we're using spiritual mind treatment. We're treating our minds to see things the way we desire. That's the building of the belief. And you see, a practitioner must have an understanding of this science of spiritual mind treatment and then be willing to train their conscious mind. You see, that's where all training starts. Training the conscious mind so that as we train it further and further, we can create it to be unconscious. It can be a habit of thinking. I've developed a new habit of thinking. I now visualize myself as a man that is 6'1" and weighs less than 190 pounds. I had a habit where I was a man that was 6'1" that weighed 195 pounds or slightly less. Starting in January, I started building that new belief. When I built that new belief, I had to adjust how I thought, how I spoke, how I felt, and how I acted. And in doing so, I am now that man that is under 190 pounds consistently for the last 2 weeks. And I know what that feeling is. I have built that, and it's becoming now my unconscious habit. That this is how I think, this is how I talk, this is how I act, and this is how I feel in that body. It's a real simple example, but it's an example I think that you can understand. Everything that I think, feel, speak, and act is in alignment with that number of just under 190. for me. And that's becoming still conscious, but it's becoming more and more unconscious. You see, treatment, spiritual mind treatment, is a process of adjusting our view from an existing condition to a reality that already exists within the quantum field. So within the quantum field, there was a Lee Wolak at 195. Within the quantum field, there is a Lee Wolak at 190. So I'm adjusting my view of who I am to the new condition. And what I did was, as a practitioner, I removed the obstruction and I adjusted my view to be able to see what I considered a greater reality. In other words, I removed the obstruction that I could not be 190. I removed the obstruction that this is where I was and I would stay there. I removed the obstruction that it would be difficult for me to do this. And I said it would be easy for me to do this. Because this power that is working through me knows no obstacles. I am the director of it. It responds to me. And all I have to do is be responsible for my thoughts, words, actions, and feelings. Think about that. That's all you are responsible. You're not responsible for anyone else. You're not responsible for the world. You are responsible for all of your thoughts, words, actions, and feelings. And you get to choose where you direct them. You see, a practitioner's role is to lift their mental state to a place where their vision is adjusted to a new and chosen viewpoint. This can be on any aspect of life. It can be on an aspect of life with respect to a relationship. I look at it this way. I'm in my 49th year of marriage. I'm in my 50th year of knowing my wife. And I truly believe that relationships can get better. So I have taken and created a new image of Lee in a relationship with Jean. And here's what I've created. My vision is it's more fun. It's more spontaneous. It's more meaningful. It's more supportive. And the key thing is I have to think those thoughts, feel those thoughts, speak those thoughts, and act upon those thoughts. And trust me, I'm doing that constantly. Why? Because I have determined it's important to me. I really got that vision when we were visiting my granddaughter Claire last week. And I got the vision because with Claire, Baba is fun. Baba just cracks her up. I'm always doing things to bring joy. Tickle time. That's our favorite thing to do, is tickle time. But I realize that my wife brings different gifts to the relationship of a grandparent with a granddaughter. My wife is a nurturer. My wife is a really safe place. And so my role is I see her in that role, and my actions are, when I was getting a little tired of being the fun guy, I would say, Claire, go take the book to Nona. Go sit in Nona's lap and let her read to you. And Claire would go, okay, and she would go. And you could see how Claire and her grandmother just bonded. And there was such a beautiful love. And yet I realized I could share that love through my observation. I didn't have to be the center of attention. Isn't that interesting? We do not have to be the center of attention to feel love. You see, our knowledge of truth dissipates illusion. The truth is, we are an individual, unique expression of the one, and there's a power that responds to the nature of our thought. Everything else is an illusion. The truth is, there is only one. The illusion is, there are many. You see, illusion can never dissipate the truth. The truth is the divine presence is always present. You cannot hide from the divine because it's always here. The infinite mind knows our every thought, and it is always responding to that thought. You see, here's the key thing. It is impossible for a practitioner to use this power without a deep and sincere spiritual conviction. This is where really the rubber meets the road. Do you truly believe that you are one with this power? Do you truly believe that this power will respond to you? Are you willing to do the work to prove it? And you see, an obstruction to a practitioner is nothing but a challenge to change their consciousness. It's nothing but to change their consciousness. You see, this law of mind, this law of creation, is a mechanical and mathematical reaction to our thinking. That's what it is. The law of mind, the law that creates, responds mathematically and precisely to our thinking. The clarity of our thought produces a clear and concise outcome based on the mental image we provide this law. So our job not only is to build a conviction, but it is to give it a clear image. Because if we don't give it a clear image, we're going to get an unclear result, a result that's not what we want. And I think it's really important to understand that. You see, a practitioner knows that all conditions are fluid. Conditions flow in and out, back and forth in our thought. Our job is to have them flow in a specific direction. The law of mind will automatically reverse conditions to meet a new state of awareness created by us as practitioners. Our job is to always build the state of awareness that we see as the highest expression for ourselves. And I say, why the highest expression? Because it's always about experiencing a greater life. And how do you experience a greater life? You have to raise your awareness level. So if you want more abundance, you've got to raise your level of abundance. Realize that abundance is there for you. There are no limitations. But your thought, words, actions, and feelings must be in alignment with that level of abundance that you're seeking. Same thing with health, relationships, spiritual connection with anything in life. It's about raising your level of awareness. You see, the basis of spiritual mind treatment is that our life is pure spirit. We realize we are individualizations of the infinite. We recognize also that spirit is at the center of everyone's being. No matter who you're looking with, no matter what they're demonstrating in their life, spirit is present. It is the realization of this perfection, of our oneness with spirit, that truly heals. It heals relationships, it heals our bodies, it heals our minds, it heals our financial status. It's the realization that we are one. That's where meditation comes in. That's why meditation is so important, because meditation allows us to put down our ego for a little bit and have an experience, even though it's very small, very short, an experience of oneness. Because it's in the experience of oneness that all healing and transformation takes place. If a treatment is real to the one making it, and the one making it has a deep conviction in oneness, then and only then will the treatment have power. If the statements are purely intellectual, they have no power. They have to have feeling. How many of you remember the movie, The Replacements? Football movie with Shane Falco. Washed up quarterback, but Shane was the man. And I can remember that when the coach told Shane he was off the team because the other quarterback that was an all-star Hall of Famer, Super Bowl winning quarterback was coming back. He said, you know, he's coming back. I've got to use him. I have no choice. But he said to Falco, he says, Falco, you've got heart. And then they're in the game that's going to decide whether they go to the playoffs. And the coach is there and they're losing 17-0. They're getting whooped. And the reporter comes to the coach at halftime as he's going in. And he says, what do you got to do? What's going to change? And he says, you've got to have heart. You've got to have heart. Shane Falco was watching and he got the cure. He got the cure. He got the message. He heard the message and he came back. You watch the program to see what happens. There was heart. Heart wins every time. If you're doing something and there's no heart in it, don't waste your time doing it. If you're going to do something, put your heart into it with everything you got. You see, a practitioner removes mental blocks by knowing spiritual reality, that we are one. It is the practitioner's job, it is your job to adjust your intellectual vision from separation, being separate from oneness, to the spiritual realization of love, of oneness. That's our purpose, to realize oneness and then direct the power to have a greater experience of love, of law. You see, we don't deny as practitioners the conditions of life, the things that might be going wrong, but we rather deny the wrong relationship being looked at. And you see, when we shift our consciousness and declare that everything is in the body of ideas and in its proper place, everything shifts for us. We have that power. No matter how impossible a situation may seem, the practitioner holds to the idea that there's nothing that spirit cannot overcome. No matter how much confusion one is experiencing, peace and clarity are always the underlying truth. Our confusion is we don't see it. You see, folks, life is, and we live it. The law of mind is, and we use it. We know something about the how. We know nothing about the why. The how we use, the why we accept. Don't ask, why are you here? Know that there is a power in you and you can use it. And use it the way your heart will expand and grow and become more. And you become an example to everyone you meet. And when you become an example, you become a teacher. And that is the best teacher in the world, is one who leads by example, not by words, not by position, by the example of living in oneness as love. That, my friends, is pure agape. Let us pray. As we go within, we know that there is an innate oneness within us and that we cannot deny. We have known this oneness from the moment we raised our consciousness in the human body, that there was something greater than us that is within us. This oneness is everywhere present and everything is one with it. It is all powerful. It is all knowing. It always has been. It always will be. And you and I are the individualizations it chose itself to be. We are the chosen ones. Everyone is a chosen one, given the same power to create. So I invite you through this prayer to take your power back and place your focus, your thoughts, words, action, and feelings toward that which brings you a greater sense of joy. The experience of oneness, the experience of love, the experience of abundance, the experience of connectedness, the experience of contributing to a life that has a deep meaning, a life that is filled with joy, laughter, a life or we can see that there is perfect balance. A life where we don't have to be attached because we know that whatever we're seeking, we can create in any moment. So we're able to let go. We're able to let go because we know the power within us lets us go wherever we want and do what we want and experience what we want whenever we want. We claim the power of being the greatest practitioner we can possibly be, and to use the law of mind to create as only we can. We now, in this state of awareness, fill our hearts with deep gratitude and give thanks for this level of awareness, this realization. For gratitude seals the fate. We accept it, we bless it, we call it ours, and we let it go. And it is done. And so it is. Amen. I can't tell you how grateful I am to be with you and to share this message with you. Every time I go deeper into the science of mind, I realize how much I love this teaching, and I love sharing this teaching with you. Hey, if you got something from this message, make a donation. Heck, become a regular giver. Sign up, go to AgapeSpiritualCenter.com and give automatically once a month, whatever your gift is. We give back. The more you give, the more we give back. You can have classes at half price, classes at full price. Speaking of classes, guess what, gang? Today at 1:30, I start a class, The Power of Self-Mastery. That goes for, I think, 6 weeks. Tomorrow, Monday night, I start a class called How to Meditate. That goes for 5 weeks. On Tuesday, I start a second class on the power of self-mastery. That goes for 6 weeks. You can sign up online right now and take a class with like-minded people, be small, intimate groups. I promise you, you will get more out of the hour and a half we spend in class each week. It is going to be worth every minute of your time, because here's what I know. Your time is the most valuable thing in the world, and I would not want to be one who would ever waste your valuable time. So if you're interested, go to AgapeSpiritualCenter.com, sign up for a class, or just make a gift. Just donate. There's a give tab or the class tab, whatever you want to do. While you're there, look at the calendar and find out all the ways that you can plug in. Join me for morning meditation at 7 a.m. every day for free. Every morning, I do a talk at 8 a.m. for 10 minutes about the topic of the day. We have gatherings on Wednesday. Anyone can join these gatherings. One is at 1:30 in the afternoon. One is at 7 o'clock in the evening. We have a men's group. We have all these things available for you. Here's the key thing. You get to choose if and how you use them. But you know what? No matter what you choose, I want you to know that I'm here to support you and to look you in the eyes and say, I love you and I accept you just as you are, because you're unique and you're perfect. So go create your greatest life ever. Until next time, aloha.